Okay, today we're going to show you how to install ARKRemote and ARK Server Launcher to manage your ARK server. So to start off, we're going to go into TC Admin, and once we're here, we're going to click on Mod Manager. Okay, and right now it's not currently installed by default, and you're going to select the one that says ARKRemote Server Manager and click Install. And then you hit Install again. Okay, that is all complete. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the server. You can just do that by clicking up at the top up here. And now ARKRemote is installed. And what we're going to do in order to start ARKRemote is we're going to click this Start ARKRemote icon. And this will ask you if you want to execute a script. You hit OK. And in this section, you're going to have a little pop-up, and it's going to show you your IP and your port, and that's saying that it launched. And what we're going to do after this is now we need ARK Server Launcher, and this is what you use on your end to connect to ARKRemote, because ARKRemote is on the server end. So what you're going to want to do is download the ARK Server Launcher download from this link right here. And I'll go ahead and give you a link to this in the description of the video and in our knowledge base. So we'll go from there. I've already downloaded it, so we're going to pretend that you just did, and then we're going to extract the zip file that they give you. And also, do remember to have, if this does not open for you, that probably means that you do not have .NET Framework 4.5 installed. You can just kind of Google search that and download that pretty easy, but most people have it installed, so that's not really a problem. And what you're going to want to do is just open up arkserverlauncher.exe. Let's give you a little pop-up, and it says, by default, it's got a little tick box for local, and that's not going to help you in this situation, so you're going to want to click that and select remote. And this is where you get your server IP, control port, and password, and that's where this pop-up comes back in handy. Is we're going to copy that IP, which is going to be your server IP, and paste that on in there, and then we're going to copy the port. We're going to paste that on in there, and then your server admin password, which in my case is password 1234. And we're going to click next, and now it's going to install Steam CMD, and that'll take a minute. Okay, and we're back, and this is what ARK Server Launcher is going to look like by default as soon as you input all the information, you follow the directions. So in that folder, it actually created a new folder called Steam CMD. You can just ignore that, leave that there. That's what it uses in order to transfer mods and stuff like that to the actual server. So at this point in time, what we're going to do is we're actually going to click Connect. And when you get this pop-up, you're going to click Load from Server. So that way you're loading from the server configuration files. So once you click that, now it says My New ARK Server, which is the name of my test server that I created for this. And then we have the password here, so everything is looking in order. There's a couple little quick things that you can adjust right here, like player location if you want that enabled, or crosshairs, that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and get into the other section, which is rules and gameplay. So under the general here, you can adjust all these things without having to mess with an actual configuration file. And this is also where you're going to do your mods is going to be up at the top there. But let's say you want your XP multiplier to be higher, or if you don't want admin logging, you can just uncheck that. Your difficulty offset, you can put that to 1, so you have 120 dinos walking around, all that good stuff. And you just kind of go through each option and adjust it, to your liking. Like the harvest amount multiplier, let's say you want it to be 21.4, some oddball number. You can do that. The harvest health multiplier, you just want to leave that at 1. You don't want to mess with that. But at any rate, you just go through any of these. It's got taming speed multipliers, whole 9 yards. Everything you need to get most of your configurations are going to be in here. And you can also adjust your player levels in here by just ticking that to on. And if we scroll all the way down, we'll see, the max level by default is going to be 90. And we can just simply hit the add button. Add. Just over and over and over until we get however many we want. So let's say we want it to be, max level 100. There we go. We're done. And then Ingrams. This is kind of interesting. You can tick that to on. You can hide certain Ingrams if you don't want certain things to be in the game on your server. like Quetzal saddles and stuff like that. That's usually what people use that for. Dino levels, the same exact deal as the player levels. You go all the way down, and then you just add as many as you want until you get to your maximum. There's not really a limit on how many you can have. Dino spawns, general rule of thumb, do not mess with this section because it can just cause you problems because of the way ARK has to recalculate how many dinos spawn where and all that stuff. Highly recommended not to do this. You're more than welcome to, but I would suggest not to. And then you have your raw INI file, which is kind of like a simplified version of modifying your configuration file manually. You can kind of go through here, look at all your options. If there's something you don't know what it does, you can just simply Google it, and it'll tell you exactly what it does and how it's used and everything. Pretty easy. And yeah, all that. Message of the day, the little pop-up when you first join a server, all that's in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into mods. How do you install a mod through this? And it's actually super easy. So all you do is click on mods, and it takes a minute for it to load because it's loading everything from Steam, all the mods for ARK. So just give that a minute and it'll load up. Okay, so this has loaded up for us, and it shows you all the possible mods that you can get from ARK, and they've included this nice little search option. This is what it should look like by default with no mods or anything installed. So let's say you want the mod Stacks Plus. Okay, so you just put that in the search bar. It is a little like weird and laggy, like when you're going through this. That's just because of the way that this program's coded and the way it goes through Steam CMD and everything. But at any rate, you find the mod you want, and right here, let's say we want Stacks Plus, View 1.0. We hit Add. Okay, and then you click on it on the left-hand side. In order to install it or update it, this also works for updating. You click on Install/Update. Alright, you click on the button, and then down here it gives you some information starting mod install. And now what we're doing is we're just kind of waiting for Steam CMD to connect to the server to say, hey, I want this mod ID, install this, and let me know when you're done. So now it's went through and it says mod installed. Now we're not done. The mod is technically installed file-wise on the server, but it's not an active mod. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the activate button. Alright, now it's got a little checkbox. So the mods that you have enabled or disabled, as far as activation or deactivation, they're going to have a little checkbox, the ones that are active. Alright, and so now at this point, let's say you have everything the way you want it. You are going to go ahead and hit write to server. Okay, and once you hit write to server, it says that it's basically done at this point when it says writing file to INI. And just keep note, when it says it can't set command line as ARKRemote is not configured to manage the game process, that's not really an error. A lot of people get confused on that. That just basically means that ARK Server Launcher cannot launch the server. You have to do that through your control panel. That's basically all that means. So that should be most everything you need to know. If you have any questions, do let us know. Have a good day.